Holiday? What holiday? We stop for nobody. What's good, everybody? Welcome into Early Edge Live. I am the coach. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not even close. Now, while everybody else is just getting out of bed, just getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner, not us. We're grinding. I tell you all the time, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and we mean it. And I just don't bring scrubs to the table. I bring the heavy hitters. But before I show their faces, here's what we're going to do today. So at 150 likes, I need everybody to pound that like button for me. It really, really helps the show. We're going to give away a free hat at 150 likes. At 300 likes, everybody wants this, the Early Edge hoodie. Early Edge hoodie at 300 likes. But in addition to that, here's what we're going to do for you because it is Thanksgiving. All right? 25% off all products in the CBS Sports Store, including Pick 6 merchandise, including Early Edge merchandise. There'll be a QR code in the top right corner of the screen. It'll take you straight to the store where you can shop all things Early Edge, as you see on your screen right now. And you can get stuff that I don't even have yet. But, man, is it growing, and the store looks fantastic. And we're also working on little side stuff, too. But in addition to that, I'm not done yet. The bosses have decided that every single hour on Twitter, follow Noah Stanley. We're going to give away 5 codes for 3 months free to SportsLine every single hour. But the codes can only be used once. So first come, first serve all throughout the hour because we're doing it, or throughout the day because we're doing it for you. All right, we got 3 games to talk about. So let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know I brought the heavy hitters. And with all due respect to the other 3, the man that gets introduced first today is our newlywed. He has taken time out of his honeymoon to come back and work on Thanksgiving because that's what we do. Alex, first of all, on behalf of the entire team, congratulations. We missed you. Welcome back.
I missed you guys as well. I appreciate that. Yeah, I am freshly minted, newly married, very excited.
Whoa. Too much information. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I'm super happy about it. Super happy to be back with you guys. I did, however, receive an anonymous wedding gift, and I did have to share that with you guys right now.
Okay. What is
this? Was given to me. I'm not going to say from who. I will put it up here so you can see it. It is a photograph of a Mr. Jonathan Coachman and The Rock. And there is an autograph on it, and I verified its authenticity, by the way, as well. This is legit. I am going to give this away today, potentially, if we reach 500 likes.
500 likes to get that, and we'll put it into a frame when we send it out, a little 5x7 frame. That indeed is my autograph. And it's kind of bittersweet, though, because I sign this stuff all the time when people send it to me, and then when they sell it, it doesn't always sit with me right. But the fact that you bought it, I'm cool with it. All right, 500 likes giving out that picture with me and The Rock. All right, elsewhere around the screen, you know the faces, you know the names are as good as it gets. M Squared, live from Nashville, Tennessee. Good afternoon, sir. I guess late morning to you.
Yeah, good late morning to you guys, too. Congratulations, Alex. Very cool there. I love that photo that you pulled out, by the way. Beautiful. So love this slate. Happy to be here with everybody. One thing I want to comment on, Noah dropping those discount codes. I'm very curious what everyone's game theory is there, because when he drops it, you can't grab the first one because everyone's grabbing the first one. You shouldn't grab the last one because that's where people are going to go next. I would recommend grabbing number 4, second to last. So when he posts it, go to Noah Stanley on Twitter, turn the notifications on, and copy and paste the 4th code if you want to be a winner.
Only Mikey would make it even more disciplined than you really have to be. Thank you, Mikey. AB, we call him Dial Up, also live from Nashville, Tennessee. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Coach. And hey, Prop Stars, congratulations on your proptuals there. Well done on that one. And yeah, for anybody who likes food and football, this is pretty much the premier day. So yeah, I'm gonna be eating pretty much the entire rest of the day.
By the way, just so people know, and I'm divorced now. You know, everybody knows my new better half. But my first marriage, I went to Monday Night Raw 2 days after I got married. So Prop Stars, I've lived it. Maybe I should have known. Maybe I should have gone to my honeymoon first. Who knows? But Maestro, you seem like a guy to me that would work the next day after getting married. You're that dedicated? No?
Well, these guys are dedicated. Toast to prop stars. Congratulations. I mean, the dedication coming back to work on Thanksgiving. And also my boss, Noah Stanley, I thought he was off this week, for the holiday. He's working every day. He's in the chat. So great examples.
Oh, yeah. Noah, I guess the only way to get a hold of him is through Twitter. So if you have something you got to get to him, Maestro, just send him a tweet, and I'm sure he'll tweet you back, added with an insult towards me. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We got 3 games to talk about. We're going to spend about 10 to 15 minutes on each game. If you have a prop that you would like, put it into the chat. Always leave your Twitter handle, please, so we have a chance to get a hold of you if you win something as well. But we want to get to as many bets today as we possibly can. So, guys, let's jump in because game number 1. Yes, there are bets on game number 1. Bears -3 at the Lions, a total 41.5. Now, before I get to Mikey for the first play, AB, you gave out an incredible stat this morning on the morning show as far as Thanksgiving Day and favorites. Could you give that nugget just one more time, please?
I could, sir. NFL favorites on Thanksgiving are 71% against the spread, and road favorites are 82% against the spread since 2004.
Interesting, which brings us to the Chicago Bears. Do we feel 80% sure that they can cover any spread? I say no. But M squared, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that with you today. What do you got, sir? Oh! No!
I did it.
No! He did it! Ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought it couldn't happen, we said Jay Smooth on the show today. Oh, Mikey, I can't even believe that just happened.
Hope you got your bingo cards out because we're off to a really good start. All right. So on this one, I'm not worried about it. I will say I lean towards the Lions in this one, but I'm taking the under in the first half, under 20.5 points, -110. Again, I said if you watch the morning show, you should watch it, but I would take an alternate line on this one if you can find plus money. Bring it down under 20, 19, 18.5, whatever you can find there. But I do like the under. I think both teams run the football a lot. They are healthy in the backfields. David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, they're both going to get a ton of carries, a lot of work in this game. Both of these offenses struggle in terms of efficiency in the red zone. So I do think that we end in some field goals if they want to put points on the board. If the Lions are aggressive, I think we end with some failed 4th down conversion attempts. So give me the under in the first half of this game, 20.5.
I cannot tell you how many times over the years that you watch this game and you root for something in any quarter, and it always ends with a bad 4th down or an interception. Just bad stuff in this game all the way, but we want it to happen to us today. By the way, you mentioned DeAndre Swift. Earlier today, RJ White said that there's some really cool exotic plays that you can make at Caesars or other sports books, and you can bet DeAndre Swift plus 450 to have the most rushing yards for the entire day. Something to think about. Now, when I task my crew with finding plays, I go to AB and I say, I need quarterbacks and I need kickers. AB, do you have either one of those today in this first game?
Yes, we do, Coach. And I'll tell you what, we're going to go quarterbacks because I don't want to get any kickers fired on a national holiday. That would just be terrible around their families. But I'll say this. We're going to go with Andy Dalton over half an interception. So essentially just has to throw 1 interception at plus 105. And let me say this. That's going to happen. Also, the Dallas Cowboys have to share the America's Team moniker today because everyone's pulling for the Lions to get their first win, and I think that their defense is going to be fired up, so they're going to pick one off on Andy Dalton.
There is so much negativity in this game today that this just fits right into those negative storylines. Listen to this, Maestro. The combined record the last 3 games for the 6 teams playing today, 2, 15, and 1. Ugh. But you have 2 props that I think get 2 thumbs up. What are they?
Well, earlier in the week, I bet the Lions +3. That was totally based on the dysfunction at Hallis Hall with the fact that Matt Nagy was canceling team meetings. He was going in to talk about whether he was going to be fired. Looked like a lot of distractions. It looked like a lot of guys actually want him to be fired. But taking a look a little bit deeper, I am not 1,000% endorsing the Lions today, even though all the money's coming in on the Lions, and it's gone down to 2.5 in a lot of spots. And that's because if you look at the Bears' schedule, the only losing team they've played all season is the Lions. They've had a brutal schedule. They did beat the Lions by 10. I want to talk about Mikey and that under because you guys talked about the red zone futility. In that game, the Lions, the first 3 times they got in the red zone, fumble, and a 4th and 5 that didn't go anywhere. So I think we could see that where they get a lot of yards, they march down, and they're unable to convert. So hedging my Lions play a little bit, I am going against that Lions secondary with 2 Bears receivers. Goodwin over 57.5 and Mooney over 57.5 and Goodwin over 36.5. I mean, the Lions 31st in giving up the deep ball. Goodwin, that's literally 1 catch for him. Blazing speed, perfect conditions, fast track. And I like Dalton over Fields in terms of getting the receivers those balls.
Boom. I like that a lot. All right, AB, what do you got? And then, Alex, I'll come to you.
Yep. Really quickly, your nugget of the day on this game. Jared Goff has played under 4 head coaches now in his NFL career. Jeff Fisher, Jim Fassel, who was the interim under him, Sean McVay, and now Dan Campbell. He went to a Super Bowl with Sean McVay. He has never won a game without Sean McVay. He is 0-15-1.
Did you guys see, by the way, speaking of Dan Campbell, thank you for that Chick-fil-A nugget of the day, that he said he was somebody asked him about him playing in the afternoon or whatever, and he made a joke like, you don't think we're going to get flexed to Sunday night? So at least Dan Campbell is keeping a nice sense of humor, the fact that he has the worst team in the NFL. Now, Alex, I know that being married and being on the honeymoon, maybe not as much time in the lab as you normally have, but I have a feeling you have a couple of leans for me on this game. Do you?
I do indeed, Coach. Yeah, so I like both running backs in this game for different reasons while I'm fading one. But yeah, I like David Montgomery a lot in this game. I've been very encouraged since he's returned from an injury a few weeks ago. He's handled, I think, over 90% of the touches in the Bears' backfield. He also faced this Lions team in Week 4, had a 23-carry, 106-yard performance. It would not surprise me whatsoever to see a very run-heavy game plan, as Mikey alluded to, in this game from Chicago. So yeah, I like David Montgomery. Unfortunately, this number has kind of crept up over the last 48 hours. I think it opened around 74.5. It's now up to 79.5. Unfortunately, I don't have it as a play at 79.5, but I would absolutely lean over on that. I also like his over on rushing attempts at 17.5. That number has also been juiced up, which is again why I'm not making either an official play. But yeah, I do like David Montgomery today. I do expect him to be the focal point of Chicago's offensive game plan. Then on the other side, DeAndre Swift. So I am bullish on DeAndre Swift. I think he's a very talented, very versatile running back. But the past 2 weeks, he has erupted for, I think, close to 275 rushing yards combined. Prior to that, in the 8 previous games, he had failed to top 51 rushing yards in a single game. Now his rushing line is set at 69.5 yards. I just think that's overly inflated, coupled with the fact that Jamal Williams has returned from injury. He's going to receive double-digit carries. Furthermore, if you look, I've watched these Swift games, and he has broken off like 40 and 50-yard chunks in each game. That is going to be hard to replicate. That's not something that you can count on. So I also like DeAndre Swift as not an official play, as a lean under 69.5 rushing yards. So both of those leans.
I'm glad that I waited till the end because I had the over ready to hit because I was like, surely he's you said 275 over. That's why you pay attention to the let me put that in. I'm going to put it in live on the show right here. I love it. Under 69.5. Boom. There you go. Does anybody else have anything on this game before we move on? Like I said, I'm sticking to 15 minutes for each game. Everybody good?
Yeah, I just want to chime in one thing on David Montgomery to reinforce what Alex said. I also think it's a big David Montgomery game. Averaging 4.5 yards a carry. The defenses he's faced allow a little bit under 4.3. So he's actually exceeding what other running backs are doing. So he's in for a good day.
Maestro, thank you very much for backing that up. All right, we're going to switch to our next game, Raiders and the Cowboys. Before we do that, let me remind you that QR code in the top right-hand corner of the screen, that will take you directly to our CBS merch store for early edge merchandise. Hey, we're getting into the Christmas spirit now, so how about getting all of your family and friends some early edge merchandise? Speaking of merchandise, we have our first winner of the day. You guys pounded that like button. I can't thank you enough. Northeast 323 at Northeast 323. You just win an early edge hat, just like the one that M Squares wears a lot. And I'm waiting for mine to come into the mail. Now, by the way, how do you win? You're asking me? Well, be active. Give comments. Talk to each other. Kelsey runs our chat. So anything she says comes from us. But we want you to be active. And then if you're active, then you can win something as well. We want to get as much to as many different people as possible. All right, let's move on to game number 2, gentlemen. This is the Raiders and the Cowboys, America's team. At some point, Maestro, very quickly, is it time to move on from the Lions and the Cowboys always getting these Thanksgiving Day games?
Oh, yeah, I'm way past that. But I don't think it's going to change.
No, I was past that in 1998. All right, the total sitting at 51. It's 4:30 p.m. Eastern. This game this year is on CBS. You'll get Jim Nantz and Tony Romo predicting every play before it happens. All right, AB, let me start with you on this game. What do you got?
We're going to go with Ezekiel Elliott over 61.5 rushing yards. Look, Thanksgiving has been his game constantly, all right? He loves the red charity bucket in the end zone. He loves putting on a show when the cameras are on him. Plus, you look at what he's accomplished this year so far, he's averaging 4.6 yards per carry, which is 10th best in the NFL. And you look at the Raiders' defense, they're giving up 4.5 yards per carry, which is 8th worst in the NFL. Dallas is going to be running the football. They're going to have massive success doing that. Ezekiel Elliott over 61.5.
I see somebody shaking their head. Alex, jump in.
Yeah, I love that prop that AB gave out late last night on Twitter. I gave out his rushing attempts over 14.5. Both plays obviously correlate. Unfortunately, 14.5, that number is no longer available. So I have been telling people to, in fact, pivot to his rushing yards, which I also like a ton. Just to jump on what AB said. Zeke, when the Cowboys win the game or when they are heavily favored, he gets large. They basically rely on him very heavily. As we know, the Cowboys are 7.5-point favorites. Dallas ranks 9th in time of possession. The Raiders are 27th. I do expect Dallas to control clock throughout this game. The Raiders have allowed the 9th most rushing yards to opposing running backs, 12th most rushing attempts. The Raiders have also been a run funnel. Opponents are averaging 29.5 rushing attempts per game against them. The Raiders are ranked 15th in rushing DVOA, have really tailed off over the last 4 games. We're getting a discount on Zeke because of the last few games. The Cowboys have struggled. He practiced in full the last 2 days. Not concerned whatsoever with the knee injury. He loves to feast on Thanksgiving. I love Zeke today.
Drop the mic. Real quick, Mike, I'm going to come to you. But, Alex, I'm feeling the love from you today. You just got married. Look what my beautiful better half brought in. You guys didn't even see it. Little tea, because it's early in the morning out here on the West Coast for me and you. So got a little tea, courtesy of the better half. Mikey, what do you got, pal?
Yeah, just want to back him up there. I love Ezekiel Elliott today. He's in every single one of my DFS lineups. I love that CeeDee Lamb is out. They're going to work him in on the passing game as well. You look back at the game against Kansas City in their last game, ended up having 6 targets in that one. I don't expect them to absolutely blow out the Raiders now without Lamb and Cooper. I expect it to be relatively competitive most of the way, which is going to be a heavy dose of Zeke, but he's going to be involved heavily. I think that you can take it a step further and look at some of his combined yardage. I think you can look at his reception prop. I expect a heavy workload from Ezekiel Elliott today.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. His rushing number is up to 64.5, juiced to 132. Would you still play it up to that?
I would lean over on it still, yes. I probably at that point I would look to the combined number, though, as I do expect him to catch some passes here in this game.
Okay.
But I lean over on every single Zeke prop out there.
Okay, very good. As long as you're talking, why don't you give us your play for this game as well? Combo play, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have an official play on this game. I lean towards the Cowboys. I lean towards the over. However, CeeDee Lamb being out definitely hurts the impact of the big playability for the over. So no official play on it for me. If I had to make an official play, it would be Ezekiel Elliott over on the receiving yards. That would be my play on the game.
Oh, I thought you had a teaser. My bad. I thought you had the Bills and the Cowboys tease
today. Yes. I do have that. It's not on this game specifically, but yes, I do have a teaser on. Yeah, you're good. I have a teaser on the Cowboys and the Bills today as well. So you bring the Cowboys down to 1.5.
and the Bills down to a half. There's a lot of new people that are watching today. It's a great way. If you watch the show enough, and we hope that you do, come and stay, you'll learn so much about the different ways you can make numbers work when some numbers don't work. A tease is a great way to do that. So thank you, Mikey, very much for that. Now, R.J. White earlier today gave out Tony Pollard over 59.5 rushing and receiving yards, minus 115 as well. And then, Larry, you have 2 props today. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm similar to Mike, and I have a money line parlay with the Bills and the Raiders. But the 2 props I like, Dalton Schultz, and it helps that CeeDee Lamb is out. Raiders are 31st in giving up yards to tight ends, over 70 yards per game to the tight end. So I went Dalton Schultz over receiving yards. 2 bottom 10 teams against tight ends, Eagles and Giants. He torched them for a combined 150-plus yards, so I love that. And I also like Dak Prescott to use his legs. Did not run at all last week against Kansas City, but before that, he had been running at least a couple of times a game. And here's the key. With the way that Crosby and Ngakoue rush the passer, there are going to be times where Prescott is going to see those lanes to take off because those guys get up the field. I think, after only scoring 9 points, he's going to have to use his legs a little bit to get involved. We know they're down the receivers. So it's up from 9.5 to 10.5, but I'm still going over Prescott rushing.
Hey, if Tom Brady can do it, Dak Prescott can do it. How about the other day when we talked about on Early Edge Live? Can Tom Brady do that half a yard rushing, and then he does that run up the middle and let's go. I felt like doing that too. Yeah, 9 yards, sweet. But yeah, I love this play today as well. Uh-oh. Alex is chomping at the bit. Real quick in the chat, they said, if you want to have a really good drinking game, start drinking when Alex gives the play and stop drinking when he's done with the play. I think you'd be pretty drunk. Alex, what do you got?
Yeah, I have an official play from this game as well. It is Derek Carr under 37.5 passing attempts, under 37.5 passing attempts. This play is correlated to Zeke's prop, his over. I mentioned the Cowboys are 7.5-point favorites. They dominate clock in games they win. Cowboys rank 9th in time of possession compared to the Raiders, who rank 27th. Carr has been held under in 7 of 10 games. That is a 70% hit rate to the under. I have Carr projected at 35 attempts. I always talk about there's a lot more ways for an under to hit, whether it's injury, game flow, etc. The Cowboys rank 4th in EPA allowed per dropback, 8th in pass rush grade, 10th in coverage grade. The Cowboys' rush D has actually been vulnerable this season, which is what I expect the Raiders to try and exploit, at least while the game is somewhat competitive, at least when the game is, in the first half early. I do expect Josh Jacobs to get some run. So, yeah, I do like Derek Carr to throw under 37.5 passing attempts today. Official play.
Oh, Chief likes it. Chief loves that play. I would love to see like 2 or 3 80-yard drives by the Cowboys, 8 minutes, all that kind of stuff, and end with an Ezekiel Elliott touchdown. Mikey, let me come to you. Stadia in the chat says Ezekiel Elliott to score a touchdown and the Cowboys to win is at plus 150 on FanDuel. Is this worth a shot?
I typically stay away from these kind of bets, but this particular one on this day, I actually don't mind it at all. I do think Zeke lands in the end zone. I think he gets a heavy workload in the red zone, and I do expect the Cowboys to win this game, as I've got them in the teaser, would consider them on the spread still. So anything, above plus 120, plus 130 there, I do like.
Alex.
I just wanted to mention this Raiders, the Las Vegas offense has been broken since Henry Ruggs was cut by this team. Carr's thrown 4 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He has just really, really struggled without Ruggs in this offense. Teams are trying to take away Darren Waller or just trying to take away the short game from the Raiders, and they just don't have the deep passing option. So, yeah, I really like the Cowboys to really control this game, dominate clock, impose their will, and yeah, I expect Carr to struggle.
And I would point out that was against the Chiefs, Bengals, and Giants, and the Cowboys defense is better than all 3.
Thank you, Maestro. Mikey, back to you.
Yeah, no, we got 700 people watching, almost 300 likes. I want to get to 500, so Alex gives that photo away. So I'm going to add a donkey parlay in for this game and the final game if we get to at least 500 likes. So,
snap. Okay.
So smash the like button while we move on.
And Mikey's 3-0 on his last 3 parlays as well.
Thursday, Sunday, Monday, we've hit the donkey parlay. And for those of you who are new, the donkey parlay is the most fun bet we do all year. We put a bunch of things together. We're going to do you one better than that. We're going to put together a turkey potluck parlay for one bet from all of us, and we're going to put it together and just see what it comes up with. We have no idea right now what those plays are. We're just going to have fun at the end of the show, but we'll have a donkey parlay. You said for this game and the late game, correct?
Yep.
And then we'll do our potluck parlay as well. So we got a lot of parlays coming at you. I believe that is all the plays, Raiders and Cowboys. I've got one I want to come to you, AB, because it's a quarterback question. The number on Derek Carr kind of can correlate with what Alex just said, 262.5 minus 125 to the over, 262.5 minus 102 to the under passing yards.
Yeah, I would lean over on this one because there's a really significant game script where the Raiders are playing from behind the entire game, and Derek Carr is going to have to put the ball up in the air multiple times. Yeah, I like it because they could even use the short passing game as the run game de facto. Yep. I'm leaning over here.
Very good. By the way, the jeweler just texted me because, he's always working the ones and the twos. His official play in the potluck parlay, just to help you guys out a little bit at home, is going to be the Raiders team total under. Jeweler, I need to know what that number is, but he's going to play the team total under for his official play, which means he really likes to play for the game if you want to bet it separately. All right. Now, because we're going to have to leave some time at the end of the show for those parlays, baby, let's get into game number 3. And I loved it when the NFL decided to add the third game because the Lions and Cowboys stink. And so tonight we're going to have the Bills laying 6.5 now. Once that Alvin Kamara news came out, it just shot up from 3.5 to 4, now 6.5 at the Saints, total 45. And Larry, I'm going to let you start us with this one, if you would, please.
Yeah, I posted the Bills on SportsLine, but the number was much lower. The injury report is terrible for the Saints. Ingram questionable, but the all-pro right guard is out. I haven't seen the latest on Armstead. He's the left tackle. That was the right tackle, the all-pro. And the left tackle, Armstead, I believe, is questionable. We know no Kamara, no Marcus Davenport. He's a big guy. And the Saints stopped the run. We know they do that, but the Bills don't really run the ball. This is a good chance for the Bills offense, especially guys like Emmanuel Sanders, because Lattimore, let's say Lattimore's on Diggs. Sanders can get loose. Beasley can get loose. I like the Bills, but I'm not playing it at this high of a number.
Okay, very good. AB, you're also on a Bills bet. Which one?
Yep. We are on the Bills team total over 26.5. You want to talk about feasting on a holiday? The Saints run man coverage about 38% of the time. Josh Allen has feasted in his career against man coverage. He is going to play a high-low game in terms of his receivers. He's going to be hitting deep passes. He's going to be hitting short crossers. The Saints, their defense is really good at stopping the run, but what Maestro just said, Bills don't run the football, baby. That ball is coming in the air all day long, and the Bills are going to put points up. Take the team total over 26.5.
And if there is one team that does not take their foot off the gas pedal, it is the Buffalo Bills. All right, Mikey, I think you can elaborate a little bit more on the reasons for your teasers. You have the Bills and the Cowboys, and I'm not sure if you have anything else right now because you're always working. You got anything else?
Yeah, nothing else on the game yet. One sneaky one I'll give you, though. I like Taysom Hill for the first touchdown. I like Taysom Hill for anytime touchdown. I've actually played Taysom Hill in one of my more expensive daily fantasy lineups today. Just a total shot here, but I'm expecting Taysom Hill to be heavily involved for the Saints today. Alvin Kamara, I believe Mark Ingram will be out as well. I don't think that they trust some of the other pieces there. I think they're going to work him in more. So I like Taysom Hill to get in the end zone today. That'll be one play that I'll be leaning on if you like a fun little flyer. But other than that, I like the Bills. They should win this game. They're the better team. AB laid it out pretty well. I think it's a really good get-right spot for the Bills. I love that they're not dealing with any elements. They're playing, in a controlled environment in a dome. I think it's a great spot for them to get right.
How about all three games today in a controlled environment, which I absolutely love. By the way, I love when Mikey low-key flexes on all you people at home when he says my more expensive leagues. There are levels to this game, everybody, and he plays at a different level than most everybody else. All right, Alex, you're shaking your head. I feel like you have something you want to say or you have a lean or two.
I have an official play from this game, actually, Coach.
Boom, let's go.
Boom, let's get it. Yeah, it is Marquez Callaway under 3.5 receptions. This, I want to point out, this one is heavily juiced. I do think it is worth the squeeze in this particular instance and this particular prop. Callaway has been held under 4 receptions in 5 straight games, including all 4 games that Trevor Siemian has appeared in. He is averaging 2.25 receptions and 29.5 receiving yards in games with Siemian at quarterback. The emergence of Traquan Smith, Deontay Harris has eaten into his role and his snap share. As we know, the Bills rank first in passing DVOA. They do not allow big splash plays, which is what Callaway specializes in. He's averaging less than 5 targets per game with Siemian at quarterback. The Bills rank first in EPA allowed per dropback, 12th in pass rush grade, first in coverage grade. They clamp opposing receivers. They especially are great at taking away the deep ball, which is what Marquez Callaway really thrives in. He is not a high volume target whatsoever. So yeah, Marquez Callaway under 3.5 receptions, comfortable playing this up to like -160, -165. I saw it at -145. Love this play.
Yeah, it just went up to 1. Literally, I wanted to see how real this is with people watching the show. I literally opened it up when you started talking, and it was at -150. It changed on my screen to -167 in the last 2 minutes.
And FanDuel is at 2.5 now on the receptions. I mean, I'm not saying from Alex. I am. It must have been quick. It must have been quick.
I'm telling you. I am telling you. There is somebody watching these numbers and this show. But that's okay. When you have a successful show, you have the best information, you have the best guys. That's what's going to happen. It's not like we're hiding. We're not hiding. We expect it. But that's why we tell you all the time, you have to watch these shows live, because if you watch them on demand, especially our prop show, which is normally on Friday, the numbers change because they know how good our guys are. If you have any other props you want us to get to, throw them into the chat. Not too many. I think people are just wanting to watch, enjoy, not playing a whole lot of props. Normally, you guys are very, very active, but there's not a lot of questions today, which is fine.
I got one for Alex though. Would you play it at plus money at 2.5?
Yeah, I would actually play that plus money. I think he's gonna. I think 3 receptions is honestly a big ask for him with his role in the offense. He is running a lot of routes, but yeah, the volume just is not there whatsoever. I think he's eclipsed 5 targets once with Siemian at quarterback. Yeah, I would play this at plus money at 2.5 as well.
Interesting. That means 3.5 is like a gift. That's like a gift for us if you're saying 2.5 works. By the way, RJ White earlier today on the show, he got up. He was working on Thanksgiving. Zach Moss, under 21.5 rushing yards at -125 is his official play for this game as well. When we look at this game, guys, and Mikey, you said you like the Bills to win, but we haven't even discussed the Bills at this number yet. Do you like them to win by a touchdown?
I don't love the number, and I'm a little biased because I had the number available to me earlier in the week, obviously at a much better price than this. But yeah, I think that they probably end up winning by a touchdown. But, until they go out there and show it, I would stay away from it personally. I like them in the teaser. Really love the teaser with the Cowboys that I've got out there. I know Larry's got the same thing on the money line. Yeah, I can't recommend laying this price with the Bills at this point, unfortunately.
All right, very good. Where are we at on the situation? Because everybody wants that donkey parlay, but nobody wants to pay for it. Where are we at right now? Oh, and the picture. How did I forget about me and The Rock? So we need to get
411 likes.
Okay, so I need 89 more likes, and there's plenty of you watching right now. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do it. Even if you don't win, we want somebody else to win. Because I don't make false promises. We're not going to do the donkey parlay unless we get to 500 likes. We only need 89 more people. Just hit that like button, put the chat right back up. AB, let me come back to you because we love quarterback props. And this number I find very inducing. I think I like this number, 277.5 -120 for Josh Allen.
Yeah, this is going to be a big game for him. It is. Yeah.
Okay. Great analysis, AB.
Yeah. It's going to be a big game for him. They are feast or famine. Like, honestly, they are feast or famine. They're either going to win by 30 or they're going to lose by 30. Like, that's what you're going to see out of them because they're not a balanced offense in terms of no run game. Yeah, I like this play.
All right. Alex, let me come to you because the Trevor Siemian number is very, very low. 204.5 -109.
Yeah, that is low. I do agree with Mikey, though. I do expect Taysom Hill to mix in this game. Even if he doesn't, this is going to be very tough. The Bills are just an excellent coverage team. They rank first in the majority of defensive pass metrics. So, many quarterbacks have failed to eclipse this number. I think Simeon's going to have a tough time. The Saints do not have very viable receiving options, maybe the worst receiving group in the NFL, right up there with Detroit. These guys are completely miscast in their roles, dealing with just numerous injuries. Callaway, Ingram potentially. The tight end Troutman's out for this game. So, I think Simeon's going to have a tough time against this Buffalo defense, who does not let off either. They play for 4 quarters. So, I would lean under on this number.
Hey, but at least the Saints signed Taysom Hill to an extension this week. That was their big news of the week. Really? $10 million a year, $11 million a year, up to 20. But as Mikey said on one of our earlier shows, they have no designs on ever making him the starting quarterback. So that $95 million number that was all the headlines, I hear you, Chief. I agree. It's not ever going to happen. Mikey, let me come to you because, Zach in the chat, I lost my place. Over 32.5, the rushing total for Josh Allen, a little bit higher than most quarterbacks, but we know how good of a runner he can be. They actually called design run for him in their offense. Do you like this number?
I lean that way, but I don't love it. You look at some of the games here, like last game he had 18 rushing yards, 3 the game before. Just the floor is still low. You need the right kind of game, the right kind of scheme, but I don't think that I would play this one, to be honest with you.
All right, Maestro.
Yeah, I want to lean over on this. He has the last 2 games were bad, but he has gone over in 4 of the 7. And the comments about protecting the football with the 4 turnovers they had last week, the 2 interceptions, I think there's going to be an emphasis. If you don't have your guy, just take off and run. So I would lean over, but the number is rising.
He did make a lot of bad decisions last week. And I think right now when you look at like the way Daniel Jones played Monday night, that every head coach in the NFL is going to sit down with their quarterbacks the last 2 days and say, listen, stop with the bad throws and costing us possessions.
I can't believe you mentioned Daniel Jones and Josh Allen in the same spot.
They have the same stature. They're both like 6'3" or 6'4". That's the only thing. Mikey, what do you got?
Yeah, I just want to add in on the Josh Allen rushing and then hit on Zach Moss, which RJ was on the under there. And part of the reason why Matt Breida has played relatively well for them the last few weeks. Head coach Sean McDermott has been quoted in the media as talking about he's earned a lot more playing time. He only played about 30% of the snaps in that last game, but look for him to play a few more. Look for them to give them the handoff a couple more times, especially if they are in control and winning this game. So that's part of my caution on Josh Allen. Like, I'm certainly not playing the under on it because I know the upside he possesses. Just 0% chance I would play the under on it. Just a little cautious on the over at a number that is rising.
Okay. Thank you very much. AB, in this game, it feels like to me, if the Saints are going to score, they're going to be kicking a lot of field goals. Have you looked at the field goal prop in this game for the Saints?
Yeah, and depending on your book, you're looking at 2.5, 1.5. 1.5 is going to be juiced pretty high. Yeah, they're gonna do it because they're kind of in the mode what we saw to the Titans last week against the Texans, that every single point is going to matter, especially in the first half. So nothing that I have officially because again, we don't want anybody losing their jobs. But honestly, no, you're going to have opportunities here with the Saints, but it's one of those that you want to get them in the first half because the kicking game could be gone in the second half if they're down by 2 scores.
That's a very, very good point. All right, we have hit 500 likes, so that's going to open up a big door for us. We're going to have 2 donkey parlays. We're going to have a potluck parlay, and also somebody in the chat said that picture is amazing, and I got to tell you, Alex has the envelope ready to send out to you of me and The Rock years ago sharing the screen as we did so many times. And I got to tell you, if you haven't seen it today, he posted a video today where he surprised an audience at a movie theater and gave away a pickup truck to a fan who was at the movie watching it and had a really pretty cool story. They reached out to The Rock. That's the kind of guy he is. And I can't tell you how many times that I'm grateful for the fact that I got to work with him, that I got to learn from him, that everything I do is based off what he taught me. So The Rock is one of the greatest human beings that you could ever meet in your life. I hope all of you get to do that. I know it's impossible. But, Alex, thank you for purchasing that picture and sending it out to one very lucky fan. All right, so we're getting closer to kickoff time. We have 3 things left to do in the show. So let's do the donkey parlays first, and then we'll put together our potluck at the end. So, Mikey, this is your deal. The floor is yours.
All right, Coach. I've only got the first donkey parlay in, but I'll be working on it. And we'll give the second one out at the very, very end. But the first one here for the Cowboys game, plus 550 is going to be the return here. We're taking the Cowboys on the money line, the Raiders plus 17.5 on the alternate spread, the over 41.5 total points, Ezekiel Elliott over 14.5 receiving yards, Ezekiel Elliott over 59.5 rushing yards, and Tony Pollard over 29.5 rushing yards for plus 550.
Oh, my goodness. Can we possibly do it 4 days in a row? It's almost impossible unless you're talking about my man M squared. So get all those down. Take a screenshot. This is the second game. You don't have to get it in right now. I'll give you like 5 or 6 more seconds, and then we move on. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is our potluck parlay. This is something the jeweler came up with, where all 6 of us put together a random play and just put it together and see what happens and see what the number is. So, Mikey, I'm going to let you start, and we're going to go around, and it could be any bet on the board, and we're just going to put them all together. What do you got to start us off with?
All right. I'll take the Cowboys money line.
Okay, Cowboys money line. Okay, Cowboys money line for Mikey is our first play. AB, what do you like?
We're rolling with the Bills. Team total over 26.5. That's your play. Get a nice number. Pick that thing.
Okay. All right, Bills team total over 26.5. That's our second leg. Alex, what do you got?
I'll go DeAndre Swift under 69.5 rushing yards.
Under 69.5 rush yards for leg number 3. Maestro, I'm getting nervous. I feel like the first 3 are going to hit. What do you got?
I'm surprised Mikey took such a heavy favorite. I'm going to take Dalton Schultz over receiving yards, 50.5. You may see 51.5. 8 targets last week. No CD Lamb. Raiders terrible, 31st in yards given up to the tight ends.
Okay, I'm going to go with a play that in order for us to cash it, it could be late second half tonight around 10 o'clock Eastern time. It could be the only play on the board, and we've got to cash it, and it's all going to fall on my shoulders. Josh Allen over 2.5 touchdown passes in tonight's game is my official play in the potluck parlay. And you know this wouldn't be a Thanksgiving show without an appearance from the man who runs the entire brand impeccably. And yes, that's a word that's too big for AB to understand. Jeweler, what's your last leg in our potluck parlay, sir?
What's up, Coach? You said it earlier. I am taking the Raiders team total under. We got a Raiders team that has looked just terrible these last 3 games, and a Cowboys team that their defense has looked absolutely dominant. Derek Carr's only threw for 4 touchdowns these past 3 games of his, and Cowboys, they've had 4 picks, interceptions. So we're going to take the Raiders team total under. I'm adding it all up right now, so we'll figure out.
Well, what's the number?
What?
What's the number? Yeah,
20...
what's the number?
I got it at 22. I'm working right now to see what it's at.
All right, let's see what I've got. I've got
it's probably 21.5.
It'd be helpful if I was in the right game. Jesus Christ, I was in the Bills game. I was like, oh, really? 28. We're gonna go 21.5 is what it is right now. Is that what you're gonna go with? Under 21.5? I feel like you were just trolling us because all of us are sitting there thinking the same thing. What's the damn number? That's just your diabolical sense of humor.
Well, I had it at 22 where I go. I don't know what it was exactly at Caesars whenever we're gonna.
Hey, Johnny Goomba on the corner is not an official number that we're using from your book. Hey. All right, so here's what we're gonna go with. This is our potluck parlay. If this hits, this will be crazy, and we'll get a number for you as soon as Jeweler adds it all up. So here we go. Cowboys on the money line. Okay, and this is where you put a heavy favorite into a parlay. So Cowboys on the money line from Mikey. Then Bills team total over 26.5 from AB. Then Swift under 69.5 rushing yards from Alex. Dalton Schultz over 50.5 receiving yards from the Maestro. I'm going to go Josh Allen over 2.5 touchdown passes. And then the jeweler is going to go the Raiders team total under 21.5, 6 official plays. And man, this is going to keep me interested all damn day. All right, Mikey, have you had enough time to do your second donkey parlay?
We do have a second donkey parlay.
Boom, give it to me.
All right, we're going to start with the Buffalo Bills money line. New Orleans Saints plus 14.5 on the alternate spread. The over 34.5 total points. Dawson Knox over 19.5 receiving yards. Josh Allen over 229.5 passing yards. Cole Beasley over 29.5 receiving yards. And then each team to score at least 3.5 points in the first half of the game.
These are always so crazy.
Plus 525 on that one.
I love it. Plus 525. So there it is right there. Bills on the money line, Saints plus 14.5. Over 34.5 with, say the name one more, Dawson Knox. Over 34.
Over 34.5, on the alternate total. Of the game.
Yeah, my apologies. I was so confused there. Then Dawson Knox over 19.5. Then you see Josh Allen over 229.5. And then Cole Beasley. And then each team to score at least 4 points in the first half. That's your second donkey parlay of the day. Whew, that was a lot of information in the course of about 50 minutes. We always leave you 10 minutes or so at the end to get all your picks in. So as we wrap up this very, very, very special Thanksgiving Day, I want to end the show a little bit differently. We normally say, what are we most looking forward to? If you guys would indulge me, I would just like to know what you're thankful for today. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. So, Mikey, if you don't mind, you can start us off.
Yeah, I'm thankful for all you guys and having the opportunity to do this. A lot of people may not want to work on Thanksgiving. This is my favorite thing to do. Absolutely live the dream every single day. And it's because of each of you on the screen and every one of you guys out there watching, anyone who's ever consumed SportsLine content, drastically have changed my life. And I thank all of you for it.
Awesome. AB, what do you got?
Yep, same thing. We get to wake up every single day and work with, honestly, just great friends. Like I literally look forward to it every single day, and that includes everyone in the chat because you make the show what it is just as much as Coach and M Squared and Maestro and Prop Stars and everybody else. This is such an awesome community. Thank you all so much. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
AB, I said to say what you were thankful. I didn't say lie to the people. You and I are not friends. We will never be friends.
Hey, you know what? That's what Christmas is for. That's on my list.
Very true. Very true. Thank you. Thank you very much, my man. Alex, you got a lot to be thankful for, my man. What do you got?
Yeah, I do indeed, and I couldn't agree more with what AB and Mikey said. The SportsLine community is like a family. I just want to thank everybody who reached out to me to congratulate me. Noah, Kelsey, all the SportsLine viewers are so awesome. So many of you have become my friends. I'm so grateful to be part of this community as well. Also want to give a shout-out to Johnny Goomba Jewelers, Bookie. You can find him on the corner. Say what's up to him. He might have some fresh Raiders team total line. So, yeah, shout out. Happy Thanksgiving to Johnny Goomba as well.
Yeah, his bodega is really doing well these days. Really doing well. Maestro, I think you've been at SportsLine the longest. Am I right? Or you or AB? I mean, working with SportsLine, you've been around for a minute, right?
I've been around for a minute. Mikey and AB go way back. Of course, Noah and some others. I'm thankful for family, my friends, my coworkers. I'm thankful for the viewers, the chat led by Kelsey. But I'm also thankful for, and somebody in the chat pointed out today, the essential workers who are working today doing real work while we get to talk about football and hang out and have fun. So, just a great day. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. AB, what do you got, pal?
Yeah, I wanted to see if we could get a comment in the chat from Noah Stanley, and we absolutely did. But look, let me absolutely say this. Very, very thankful for what Noah has put together with the SportsLine team, with Maestro, with M Squared. It's fantastic. We wouldn't be here without Noah. So, honestly, thank you to him, too.
Yeah. He is the bosses, and at least on one day I can put our little differences aside. He's amazing. He's amazing. He's amazing. Jeweler, dip in because you have as big a voice on this show as anybody does. What are you thankful for today, bud?
Well, is my camera frozen? It looks like it's frozen on my end.
It's on brand. That's just the way it should be.
There we go. Maybe. Who knows? I'm thankful for all you guys and what we get to do every single day, because if I'm a producer and I don't have good talent, then it's difficult, and you guys make my job super easy. So as my camera just absolutely goes in and
That's
out.
just the way that should be. Thank you, Jeweler. Well, I'll close it out and just say this. We started the show about a year ago. We had no idea what it would turn into. We had no idea if we'd be here on Thanksgiving a year later. And we have such a blast and so much fun. And I think I put this out on Twitter today that I'm working with 4 guys that a year ago I didn't even know. And now not only we're friends, but we joke with each other, we make fun of each other, and we also have a purpose. And when you find a job that you can have a purpose, that takes everything to a new level, and it's enjoyable, and you like the people you work with. It's amazing. And then last and certainly not least, this show has grown so fast, and it's all because of you guys at home, that you come and you watch every single day, you watch every single show, you participate, you make fun of each other, which is sometimes fun as well. But let's just get started. We're only a year in. Can you imagine what we're going to be like in 20 years? Because all 5 of us are still going to be here. This is my forever job. I'm not going anywhere, ever, because I love this stuff so freaking much. So there's only one thing left to do, and you all know what that is. Do you think we could get a 5-way marching orders today? You think we could try that? A 5-way on the count of 3? I'm really anxious to see what this looks like. All right, 3, 2, 1. You got your marching orders! Let's take all of these Thanksgiving tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire team, I love them all. M Squared, Dial Up, Prop Stars, the Maestro, the Jeweler, and even everybody that's not here today. Jay Smooth, Allie, Zach Attack, everybody. And Kelsey, as always, thanks for running the chat. We couldn't do it without you as well. You become such an important part of what we do, and who would have known? Who would have known? All right, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey. Enjoy the food. Pay it forward. Be nice to each other today, and let's have some fun, damn it. This is The Early Edge. Good luck.